Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session. So be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, this is our ongoing meditation session, and be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound, and while you're focusing to the sound, you can mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes for ourselves to be very clear with the technique, what we practice here. So when it comes to meditation, there are mainly two mental cultures. There are mainly two meditation techniques. So one is called tranquility meditation, and other one called the vipassana meditation. So with tranquility meditation is tranquilize your mind, calm down your mind, and it helps you to have an undisturbed mind. So another way it called the samatha bhavana or the samadhi. And other one is insight meditation or the vipassana meditation or analytical meditation, and it developed a deeper wisdom and understanding to recognize how things come to be as they are. So those are the major two pillars that take us to wisdom. So when it comes to tranquility meditation, it's kind of like a foundation for ourselves to settle down. And the vipassana meditation, it's kind of like the building block that you put on that foundation to go towards the wisdom. So this both sometimes very necessary. But there are some people, and they can directly go to critical analytical meditation, that means insight meditation or the vipassana meditation or the panya bhavana. And but for some people, they need some kind of practice from the beginning to settle down their mind. So then they need this tranquility meditation or the chitta bhavana to settle down, because most of time our mind is so busy. It's always go here and there. So another way, the very famous example for that is called monkey mind. So even though it is, our mind is like a monkey mind, and even though it is jump here and there, it's always clinging to something. And not only that, whatever it take, like monkeys, it always break it to pieces and throw and destroy the whatever they hold. So the same nature in our mind also, with the greed, hatred, and the delusion. Most of time, whatever we gain, whatever we clinging, whatever we holding, we destroy that its original nature. We disturb its nature. So as you know, this human world, when we look at this environment, day by day, people are disturbing to that. So that come as a result of the greed, that come as a result of the hatred, that come as a result of the ignorance. So that's why that tranquility meditation help us to get out of this nature and reduce the power of the greed, hatred, and the delusion. So once you have that environment, the background, then you can go to the vipassana level. But there are some people, they don't need that much tranquility state, because their mind itself tranquilized, and then they can directly analyze deeper. So when it comes to this analytical meditation, there are two ways, internal and external. So internal means that you deeply analyze form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition inside. That means your inner experience. And the external recognition means the whatever that you experience, all the perception, you recognize it as it is. So this both very need. And this both techniques is kind of like two wings of a bird. To keep the balance and to go and higher, you have to use this both. So ultimately, with the tranquility meditation and the vipassana meditation, that our goal is gaining the wisdom. So for this meditation, two techniques, there is another way. Today we're going to open that window also, then you can look into it in different ways. Another one, the tranquility meditation or the samatha bhavana or samatha mental culture or the chitta bhavana or one-pointness. Another way it's called concentration meditation. You concentrate to one mental object and you hold it to that and you stay with it. You bring the attention and you keep concentrate towards one thing. And other one, the vipassana meditation, it called contemplation. So the contemplation means that overall you observe the entire process rather than hold it to one primary mental object. You observe the entire process. So these two different nature of behavior or the practice. So when it comes to concentration, it's mainly we go with mostly one primary mental object we take as our primary mental object, the breathing. And when it comes to the breathing, the one of the important, why we take this breathing as the foundation, because the breathing, primary mental object, or the sensation of the inhalation, exhalation, it is non-conceptual. Most of our ideas, thoughts come out, it's come out of the concept. And we have some kind of bias towards something. And it's kind of like a come out of the experience. And it has kind of like a come as a result of judgment. And we give our thought into it. And then the conceptual objects are not free. It has a kind of like a connection towards something. But when it comes to the breathing, it is not a thought. It's a moment of experience. It happens itself. It's a bodily action, but it doesn't come as a result of mental effort. So, because of that, your mind released from this conceptual nature. Otherwise, our mind always has that. So that's why as a foundation, once you build up, and then from there you can go into contemplate or the vipassana meditation. So in the vipassana level, even we don't take this outside object. Remember that. In the foundations, we mainly go with our body, our feelings, sensation, our mind, our mental objects and thoughts when it comes to the mind and its behavior. And also that all the dharma that happening in us, and that dharma means the very nature within us. So when you observe that things, that observation not related to only one point. And so then your mind has to have ability to see the entire process. So that you have to have a very clear, sharp, unbiased mind. So once you develop that, so by the time what you can see, you are capable to experience this moment by moment change. And once you experience that, you are not disturbed out of your own experience. So that is a very important point. Because when it comes, that is why we need the tranquility meditation. It's not this outside disturb. We are getting disturbed from our inside also. So most of time our greed, hatred, or the delusion, and when it come from inside and we get disturbed, but we don't recognize it. So when you go deeper with the vipassana meditation or the contemplation, you need the concentration. Without concentration, you can't go into deeper with the contemplation. So that's why always you have to develop the concentration when you want to go deeper into contemplation. Because in case if you have a very disturbed mind, when you see the entire process of the nature, the moment, if you get disturbed, and out of that disturbed mind, you can't recognize the ultimate truth. So that's why you have to have the undisturbed mind when you observe deeper in you. Most of us don't think about it because our very meditation itself, whatever our practice, our result itself disturb us. We don't see that. So seeing itself and hold it to your practice or the meditation is one of the important part. So then remember, as practitioners, yourself, when you develop the technique, always be aware about it. Because mostly that when we see the change, and sometimes we don't want to go deeper into that change and experience it. We may see it. It's kind of like, there are a lot of things we like to see, but we don't want to experience. It is two different ways. In day-to-day life, maybe you go to the beach and you like to see the ocean, but you don't want to go into the water. It's two different ways, totally two different way of understanding. So then just imagine seeing the change and experiencing the change, two different things. So vipassana means it gives the power. So the tranquility meditation, it gives the strength and ability and open your heart, open your mind and hold it to that experience. And the vipassana meditation means it gives the total experience. So, unsatisfactory nature. And you can see it within you. But when it comes to your own inner experience, you don't want to experience it. You don't want to accept it as a truth sometimes. See, that's why a lot of things we know, but when it comes to us, we are not capable to apply it to our own life. So the same thing with when you practice meditation. So then always be aware. And the selflessness. And you may experience that your body, your sensation, feelings, mind, thoughts, this everything happen itself. And there is no such a independent, isolated, unchangeable something that there, but still that observer don't want to see that observer also carry the same nature. Maybe we observe outside things. We can understand it. When it comes to this pen, we can see that it's an external object. So we can see there is no self here. But when it comes to observer, it's very difficult for us to understand the observer doesn't have a permanent self. So that's why seeing that and accepting and be with that change, it is very important. So remember when you practice, if you develop that ability, what will happen? Because most of the time people withdraw from their own practice when it comes to experience. They can see it, but they are not willing to move forward and experience it. They watch it from far away. It's like you like to watch maybe a volcano erupted. Maybe it's a very beautiful, nice scenery for you when you look from the far away. But how about when you go closer? You don't want to do that. But there are very skillful people, with very special garments, and they go very closer. So like that, when you have the awareness and when you have the clear concentration, and when your contemplation becomes stronger, you can go into the change, the very core level of the change, the very epicenter of the change. You can go into the unsatisfactory nature. You can be with it rather than watching from outside. You can go into the selfless nature rather than watching it from outside. So that is the method of the vipassana. So then remember, develop this both concentration, stay focused, and have an undisturbed mind. That means you are within your own inner experience. Whatever you go through, whatever the disturb come to you, whatever change happens, stay with it. Don't get disturbed out of that your inner change. And little by little, develop the contemplation with the help of the concentration. So that way you become powerful. It's like, sometimes when they grill like very hard rock, sometimes they put water. So like that, you need the concentration when you go deeper into contemplation. So when you go in that process, what happens? That is the very interesting part of this. It's a kind of like when you come to concentration and contemplation both together and observe that internal experience, and when you be with it, what happened to your this consciousness? So it come to very trance level. Trance is kind of like a half conscious state, and you're not completely into this external world with the perception like this, opening eyes and into the perception, and at the same time you are not into deeper, detached from this and only for your thoughts. So you come to kind of like a middle. And not only that, once you come to that middle, that one's trance mode, and then it start to develop to mutation. So the mutation that very mean, it's kind of like a change of structure of genes, mutation. It changed the structure of the genes, that the very, very fundamental properties of these physical material things. So when it comes to mind, what happens, you come to that mutation state. So then it comes to transmutation. Remember the process. When the concentration and contemplation come together, and once you start to observe your external experience, rather than getting disturbed out of it, you are capable to go deeper into and be with the experience or the disturb. And in that very moment, your mind come to trance mode, half consciousness state. That means you are not depending on perception. So in that very level, your thoughts start to mutate, come to the mutation, thought level. So that means it start to change the structure of your thoughts. That is how the change come to you. When you experience kind of like a change, difference, that is what happened. So it's called transmutation. So the transmutation is very necessary when a person wants to transform to something. So the transmutation is a word came out of the, actually the base word came from this, the iron. The very base property of iron changed to another form. It's like the iron changed to gold. or if the iron changed to silver. So that change they introduced by use the word transmutation. It changed the state or the very format, structure. It's not a, this is the important part. It is not a different things. And it's not going to be the same. You have something, but it becomes different. So, out of your inner experience, once you come to this transmutation mood, what happens? Then you are capable to experience more higher level of consciousness within yourself using your own inner experience without clinging to this outside perception. Because to depend on this outside perception, you need the greed, hatred, or the delusion. Always, it's kind of like that. But now you come to a mood or the process, you stay your mind sustainable without the greed, hatred, or the delusion, or without depending from the past or the future thoughts. In the very moment, you are capable to experience within your own mind the moment of experience without getting help from anything and without becoming biased to anything. So it is a kind of like you become totally independent. And it become independent, and at the same time, you come to the complete experience. So if you are capable to come to that level, even for 1 second, 1 moment, in that very moment, you connected to a higher frequency. That higher frequency is a kind of like the knowledge that you gain, the wisdom you achieve beyond the perception. So once you come back to the normal, this conventional life, anymore, you're not clinging to this perception you used to be. Now you are totally different. That is the way of the mind, because the mind, once you experience something higher, it never go back to the lower things. So this is a process through the tranquility meditation and the vipassana meditation, or the concentration and contemplation, how you can uplift your awareness and experience more higher level. So this, the important thing is, this is, you have to develop by practicing. Because this is not a kind of like something intellectual understanding. So you have to practice little by little, little by little. So as example, if you just tight your right arm here now and bring your all the body weight to your right arm, keep tight, and maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you can do it like this. And then maybe you feel some kind of strength or the weight on your arm. So then by the time what happened, if you do it every day, maybe after 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so this arm, this fist is kind of like feel like an iron ball. It's come as a result of practice. So the same thing with the concentration and contemplation. For a certain level, you need some practice. So it works with the mind. The thing is this, for the concentration, you need the help of the body for practice tranquility meditation. So that's why we need the posture. But once you come to certain level to experience that deeper level of the happening or the process with your contemplation, then you no need the body. Then it's a mental state. So that's why there are some arguments go, oh, you no need a posture for meditation. Or you can just do meditation, whatever the posture is. So that, because it talk about this contemplation. But when it comes to concentration, with the moving body, you can't focus to one thing suddenly. So that's why, as beginners or the practitioners, you have to remember the difference. So for the vipassana, you don't need a posture. It's because vipassana is not a kind of like a way that you keep focusing. No, it's a completely overall, you understand the entire process. It is more deeper level of awakening of the wisdom. But for concentration, you need some kind of settle down, because you are going to develop the undisturbed mind. So in the beginning, you have to practice with the material world, this physical world. And then by the time you go deeper into yourself. So this is a process. And when it comes to meditation, out of this all, end of this all, what we look, what we want, our change. Not the way of maintaining the life, our change from deeper inside from us. That means the way we think, the way we understand, the way we behave, the way we react. So with that, most of time, taking a conscious decision, we can do that change. But when it comes from deeper wisdom, it's kind of like another way, it's called awaken. So once you have this awakened mind, so you don't take a conscious decision. So itself, it's going to be there, and your consciousness always going to be with that, and you take that decision exactly the way it should be according to in that environment. It's kind of like you tuning to the cause and effect, causality. It's another way you come to be harness, harmony. So, and in that very level, there's no separation. So that means you come out of dualistic mind and you start to see and take everything as part of one thing. So once it comes to that, the conventional life, what you experience today, is going to become different. So from the beginning, remember yourself, there is another way of life that you can experience. This is not the only way that you should experience this life. So only thing is, if you want this life like this, then just you should keep doing whatever you keep doing, because that is the result of that your life. So if you don't want the way whatever you experience, then what you need to do? You have to little by little go into the core epicenter and change the behavior, and with understanding and seeing the experience and bring the change to inside you. So that external change will help you to be with this external world. So internal change will help you to be with this external world. So without that internal change, without that internal understanding or the experience, you can go with this external things, but it always going to become a struggle. So it is up to you to select what you want, and it is up to you which path you want. So practice will help you to develop your understanding and the clarity and take the right decision for you. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit now. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Supatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance, or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittata chamihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjissami. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.